like this demand a trade, bro.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And at center stage, it's the Raiders' veteran linebacker. He put up numbers last week with a 9-tackle performance. It's the Raiders and the Bucs, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in week 1.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They're sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They begin with a run by Fournette, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 19 carries, 132 yards.
So coming off the opener where they established the run and established it well, their goal is to make sure that the trend continues and to serve notice to the rest of the league that they might be a run-first team.
Smith's throw taken in by Evans here. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I want to balance it.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. A first carry for Rachaad White. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Smith. And this is caught by Evans. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 40-yard line. This Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. This is caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4th down territory? Might he go for it?
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Decision time, opening drive here. What would you do?
There is no decision for me. I'm the visitor. I'm on the road. I've moved the ball downfield. I've got momentum. I'm going for it right here. Look at that play sheet. Pick out your best play.
And even if you don't get it, then your defense is going to have a really good situation on the other side.
Exactly. And in fact, though, I'm not even telling my defense to get ready. I'm telling them to get ready to celebrate.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Geno Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers are on the board first here in Vegas. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Throwing to start the drive. McDonald. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. On the draw, this is Fournette, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That third down conversion good for 23.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant. Come on, man. Get it, man. Get him going.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he gets it down to the 32. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Fournette once more on 2nd down. And some room to roll now. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 76 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack. And guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Geno Smith with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs go up by 2 touchdowns. So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Now the try here for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Off-play action. McDonald trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a 2nd season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
I would have for sure caused a fight, bro. Me trying to block somebody.
And the rest of the Bucs offense set to take over once more. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, fans of old school football, they got to be loving this partner. All 3 drives so far have ended in a touchdown, and all 3 on the ground.
And when you say fans of old school football, count me in, because you just don't see ground games dominate the scoring by pounding the rock like this anymore. To me, this is refreshing.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it is now 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 1st and 10, McDonald. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And now they're in the hurry-up. Off the play fake. McDonald. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The offense back out. There's the veteran bruiser, the running back Leonard Fournette. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McDonald. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6.
Get ready, boy.
Back to throw. McDonald. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McDonald. And he'll just get rid of it. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
It's a gain of 10. First down.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where you see the final score there. Cam Akers, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. Elijah Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Desmond Ridder, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And a big part of their success on the scoreboard is their success in the running game. Over 100 yards as a team in those first 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. These 2 coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, Jacobs once more. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Just a gain of a yard there, and now will be 3rd down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game
Oh,
plan.
it had to be a trash can speech, bro. 21-0.
On first down, McDonald. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. Back to the running game with Jacobs. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
At the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 1.
Operating from the gun, McDonald. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Drew Sample, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Miller. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because the team with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Well, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
Dang, how was that not an offside?
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 120 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go up the middle with White. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Buccaneers. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. Up the gut, Fournette. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll run it again with Fournette. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Buccaneers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs, and if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Raiders 7.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the 2 of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Oh, that's hard one right there. That one's not hard right there.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw. McDonald quickly a slant to Renfro. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it.
Torn away from him. Oh, no. That sounds
This offense so far
really
on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He gets this to Devontae Adams. On the move past the 40. And he's got some space here. Still going. And he's got this all the way down to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, Davante Adams, he's a great volume receiver. Here, he's able to do some pretty nifty work after the catch.
And plenty to praise on the play, but this is also a bit of a breakdown defensively because you've got to be right on him when he makes the catch. Otherwise, he has the ability to really make you pay, and he does right there, picking up excellent real estate after the catch.
Here's Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
To throw on second down. McDonald. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams from 3 yards out. And the Raiders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Second down, back to Fournette. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Well, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Smith. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he won't quite make it.
No,
he needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance. So not a surprise, but there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Raiders now set to get the football back. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Nah, that's not, no, that's not true. I will not a carbon coffee.
This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting
Ah.
Forced out to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Okay.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go.
So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Buccaneers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens.